This is exactly how I was able to generate 350 plus high ticket calls with the help of an AI agent, and Meta ads literally paid for all of it. And the net ad spend that I did some ad spend, it was zero. I was able to generate 350 plus highly qualified appointments. These aren't random people booking my call, these are exactly my ICP interested in my offer. How did I do it? Let's come to that. My name is Azmat Hussain, and I'm the co-founder of Origin AI, an AI consulting and implementation agency. We specialize in agentic AI solutions for optimizing business operations and client acquisition. We've been doing this since the last 2 years. First of all, we need to understand that I wasn't using any method containing outreach. I wasn't relying on email automation. I wasn't relying on LinkedIn outreach. I was using a single funnel and meta ads for this entire thing. Funnel which works on a digital snack. What's a digital snack? I'll come to that later on. It attracts my ICP, automatically rejects all the trash leads, people who will waste my time, and it funds back the ad spend that I did, eventually running my entire ads for free. How did I do it? I'll come to that later on again. Just, introducing you to the entire thing by showing you the results first. All of this was then eventually generating me high ticket calls, and this literally all of it was running on autopilot 24/7, even while I slept. I used an AI agent to operate all of this. I'll come to that as well. All done with something called a digital snack. Now, before I tell you what a digital snack it is, I want to first go ahead and explore the problems that you might be facing as well. And this is something that we faced in our initial stages as well before I started running this funnel. We didn't have the right funnel. Now, what's a right funnel? You don't know the right funnels. For some, the VSL funnel is the right funnel. For some, the workshop model is the right funnel. We were also switching between multiple funnels to test out and to finally get some clients or some bookings out of it, but none of it was working. And didn't even have a well-defined ICP. I literally didn't know who to sell my products to. I have no access to referrals or organic leads. I was literally just starting out. I even had no proven results or testimonials of my product, hence, which means basically I had no authority. Why would people trust me? And this is literally the story of every other founder or an agency owner who's starting out. And sometimes this is also the case with very old school industries like IT services, or companies, or people trying to sell core software, some web design, app dev, and all of that. Agencies running only and only on network and referrals. And when those run out, you're left in this condition. You wanted to sell to everyone, now you don't have a niche. And all we were doing was ads on a landing page, some instant forms, and chasing all the low intent leads that it generated, and which never eventually converted. I didn't get any result out of it. Of course, I tried some cold outreach as well. I tried cold calling people using Google Maps, LinkedIn, hiring someone to do that. None of it worked. I eventually ended up wasting a lot of money in cold outreach. I know if I were to try it at a very high volume, I would get it right. But the cost per booked appointment wasn't justifiable in my mind. Hence, I didn't even got into I didn't even get into exploring this as a whole acquisition channel for my business. But I did, some research, but I wasn't secure. I basically had no money to run this thing, but I had some money to run ads, and that too wasn't much. I had 5,000-6,000 rupees just to start with. You know, Now what's the solution then? So we created something called the digital snack. I talked about this early when I introduced the funnel that I had. What's a digital snack then? A digital snack basically is a low ticket offer. So it is very similar to something called a low ticket funnel, but it is enhanced by I'll tell you how. So it is a low ticket entry offer. So you never directly sell your services. You first of all have an entry offer, and all of these people have to go through that entry offer. It has to solve the exact same problem as your high ticket solution solves, high ticket offer solves. Basically, it should target the same ICP. That's our eventual goal. It should be really high value, the product. So, this is all about designing the digital snack. This is something that I had in my mind. So, I wanted an entry offer, something that solved the same problem which my high ticket offer solves. It has to be really high value, but at the same time, low ticket in nature. It should filter trash leads. Why? Because there is a paywall. That is something that I anticipated. I thought it would work. That was a hypothesis of mine. Hypothesis of mine. But now, my another assumption that I had was it should get me pre-sold buyers and it should fund my ad spend. How? What I thought was if I was able to run ads on this and ads to sell this digital snack and people could purchase this, I could then, call them up, convince them to basically upsell them to my high ticket service as well. Because they were the same people who were having the same problem as my ICP would. And this product was designed in a way I thought that would work. I started running ads on this digital snack. What I created for me was a bundle which contained a bunch of Chat GPT based agents, and then it had a bunch of intent templates, some blueprints of some business case studies and all of that. I provided a lot of value in that, and I compiled it and I positioned it as something that could help you get more appointments. Of course, you can use all the things that I provided in that resource pack to book more appointments. But the catch, this product has to be designed in a way that the implementation is really tough. When you do it yourself, when the DIY phase comes in, it has to be really tough in nature and it has to be intentional. Why? Because agency owners, the kind of agency owners or the kind of business owners that you will be targeting, this is especially for B2B, the kind of business owners that you'll be targeting will not have time to implement all the solutions, anything that you have. You want to capitalize on that opportunity. You want to intentionally make your low ticket product or the digital snack in a way that it shouldn't be easy for them to use it. You should attach all the resources that you have to. It's a simple hack. If they want to, they will eventually set it up. There is no scamming going on here. You literally have to provide real value. As I mentioned, you have to provide really high value. But this will happen even if you can make it easy for these agency owners. This will happen. People still won't do it themselves, and that's where you capitalize on the time. Then you can go to them and say, oh, let me help you implement this and I will take care of it. For that, you can then offer your high ticket service. It was not that easy. I'll come to how that funnel was structured for my case. It was not just the low ticket product and I running ads on it. I'll tell you what I did for my own case. I designed this funnel and I'll tell you how I actually ended up getting these appointments for free. So I had the low ticket product, of course, and I started running ads on it. Very simple ads, no targeting BS at all. I had 3 reels targeting different angles of the same pain point that I saw. This is something that you can literally copy and get very similar results to what I have got. Of course, not the same. That doesn't happen in real life. But yeah, very similar results. Single broad campaign, no targeting, no geo targeting, none of that. Running in India, of course. 3 ad reels in total, each of them targeting different angles to the same problem that we solve. There was a landing page in between which had a lead form. When these people landed on that landing page, saw VSL as well. There was a video of me explaining and going over the product that I had. Again, it was really high value. When you click on purchase and you simply add that thing to your cart, you will be redirected to a lead form wherein you fill your basic information: name, contact number, and email, and then you will proceed to checkout. At checkout, I divided my entire lead base into 3 types. First was someone who wouldn't purchase after that. Second was someone who would purchase the product, and there was an add-on as well where people can pay to book a call with me. And second was someone who would just purchase the product and not pay for a booked call, a booked appointment, a strategy call. Eventually what happened was all these people who were booking, who were simply coming through this funnel, were then approached by the AI agent that I've built. We call it Agent IV. This is the product that we sell. It's a very smart enterprise grade AI agent. It directly approached all these leads instantly. It engaged, captured them, of course, then messaged them on WhatsApp, further took multiple follow-ups until they responded, qualified them until we verified that they were my ICP for the high ticket offer as well. And then on the chat itself, booked the appointment, not by sending a link, but by asking like real humans do. and it literally booked all these appointments. Even after booking these calls, we were then putting them into a nurturing engine. What's a nurturing engine? Basically, subscribing them to some sort of a flow where we try to establish authority. All these people were sent to a pre-call page as well. What's a pre-call page? A pre-call page is a simple page containing a lot of authoritative content, your testimonials, your reviews. I had no reviews, no testimonials. I had some feedback of the sales calls that I had, which I asked, I begged people to give on some of the previous work that I had done, and I asked them to review me. These were real and genuine suggestions, not for the product that I was selling, but for me. How was their experience when they were working with me? So a pre-call page is something very similar to that. You put in a lot of authoritative content. I had little to no testimonials. I put all of them out there. At the same time, I put out as much. I put out a video there as well, explaining the high level details of the offer, the upper details of the offer that I'll be then eventually pitching them on the final call. Not the exact offer, because I don't want them to find out and then don't even explore and talk to me, and simply not show up on the call. That entire pre-call page's purpose was for me to ensure that these people are furthermore convinced, have enough trust in me as well, and then eventually show up on the call. Show up is one of the other problems that you have to solve. Of course, all of these leads were then pushed into a WhatsApp community as well. That will talk in some other video someday. We were able to develop a small community which you can join as well. But I'll come to that later on in another video. So basically, what was happening, all these leads that I was classifying were then approached my AI agent. They were instantly captured, directly messaged upfront from the AI agent, multiple follow ups taken until they responded. When they responded, all these follow ups taken after conversation was initialized were personalized in nature, right? It was related to the context of the entire communication that we had with them. Then asked a bunch of questions, qualified or disqualified on basis of our ICP. We moved to then booking a call with the right ICP on the chat, like asking if when they're available, checking the calendar, and then booking. No links being sent, so that the call booking rate is also higher. At the same time, we are having some friction book call, so that you have to answer questions, but in the chat, so it feels really human and natural, and the flow becomes really easy because now a lot of people can book it because AI never sleeps. There is no limit to the amount of chat that can happen in a day, and it can handle everything simultaneously at the same time as well. uh, Agent Ivy was doing all of that. It was doing all the heavy lifting for us, capturing the lead, qualifying them, booking appointments, and further sending them to the pre-call page where there was a video of me explaining the high-level details of the offer that I had, further inducing more trust, had some testimonials there. And then what happened was there was another nurturing sequence, which I had them, that was the nurturing engine. It was, multiple reminders being sent before the call just to increase the show up. Show up is a very huge problem. Multiple reminders being sent, AI call based reminders as well, so that they can also reschedule the call, the appointment, that with the booked appointment, on the AI call if they are not available, so that the eventual show up is higher. And if they're not available, they can just reschedule the call. I had all these, 5 touch point up till the point they were on the booked appointment, and I made sure that all of these people were communicated well, that they go through the pre-call page before even they come on the call. So the pre-call page also contained a lot of FAQs, and there were videos explaining all those FAQs. And when that happens, some of the objections that they might come up with in the sales call, it gets pre-handled. Now they're aware about your offer. They are your ICP because the AI agent made sure they were. They have booked an appointment with you, and they also might see you. Not, of course, exactly. It is never a surety that it works. The pre-call page is authoritative part, but they might see you as a person of authority. They might assume you that the person knows his shit. That's what I wanted to communicate via all those videos that I've put out. And I could also handle some of the objections that could come up in the sales call. So what I believe is sales is just a component of marketing. If marketing is done really well, sales will flourish, sales will becomes easier. This system, when I started running ads, and the simple path that one could follow was, after the lead form, AI will of course qualify them on chat and book a call. Or if they buy a product, they answer the qualifier form which they were sent to, and then again they book a call. And of course, before booking a call, the AI agent checks all these things are in place as well, basically defining my ICP. But even after having the authority pre-call page, all these chat reminders, follow-ups, and all of the things that I talked about, They show up almost convinced, waiting to be closed. Of course, a lot of the objections are already handled. I'll tell you the fun part out of all of this. All these people who are paying for that product is eventually, all these people are eventually funding back my ad spend. How? I was able to scale this funnel to generate approximately 1.5x, 2x ROAS, sometimes even 4x I got, but blended, you can say 1.5x, 8x, around that 1.8x, right? And anything above 1x is, of course, landed in profit. What I did was I reinvested all of that and I kept scaling this funnel. My main goal wasn't to make $1,000 out of just out of selling some low ticket product. That's a product business. I don't want to get into that. I'm a service seller. I wanted to sell my high ticket solutions. Adding another $1,000 to my revenue wouldn't make a significant difference. But what happened was, all the money that I earned from it, I reinvested in the ads that I was running for this entire thing, and it kept scaling. It kept scaling up till the point it was working for. Of course, it is now. You can see the vision. All these people are. So there will be leads who won't pay. There will be leads who will pay for the call, which they would have probably booked with the AI agent. Of course, there was a difference between the free call one an AI one a person books through an AI agent, and the one when a person pays for it. There was a difference in time, and there was a difference in the deliverables as well. In the paid call, we used to deliver a proper report and audit of the current pipeline. So even if they don't, end up working with us, they will leave with some clarity about the current pipeline. So we made sure that we provided some value. We didn't want to scam anyone. We provided a lot of value in all these calls. In all of these calls, I literally, as of now, I have so many people. You can search for us on Google. You can search Origin AI on Google, and you'll find the Trustpilot page, and you see the reviews people have written. People are really satisfied with the calls that they have with me. They always leave with a lot of clarity. So the price that I was running this entire product was 299 for the product and 199 extra for the paid call. It's a very cheap product, but you can, of course, I was putting in a lot of GPT and N agents, compile all these resources, prompt libraries and all of that, ad strategies, combine all of these resources into one single package, and then I was selling it. It seemed like a very big thing. And all these people could utilize these resources to build a funnel of themselves. I was literally providing all of this, the low ticket funnel and the explanation to all of this in that same low ticket product the digital snack that I was selling. People could get inspired out of it, and people could actually utilize and copy those same things and implement that in their business. I was also providing landing page templates so that they can develop landing pages if they're a non-tech founder. What was happening was very interesting. I was getting appointments booked. All these people were paying for it as well. I was reinvesting that amount to keep this funnel running. My entire ads was running for a net cost of zero, and still I was getting highly qualified appointments, qualified by my agent. It is doing all the process of asking the right questions and taking the right follow-ups. When that happened, I'll tell you the real numbers that the result of this entire thing. This is the result breakdown of this entire journey that we had while running that funnel. We eventually ended up spending about 1.42 lakh. You can see about 1.43 lakh has been spent. That stat, of course, is we took just a rough idea because it's a lower cap. 1.42 lakh we just spent. We just started, by the way, with, I had 5,000-6,000 rupees in my hand. I started with 500 rupees a day. That is enough for you to start with, by the way. Just start with 500 rupees a day and start with an instant form campaign. You can start with that, and you can still explore way better leads if you can target the right people, not by the settings that you do in the Meta's ad account manager, but by the settings or the creative that you create. Creative is the new targeting. I'll create a video on it as well. How we utilized AI creatives, by the way. All of this was AI creatives to eventually get these numbers. So I did approximately 1.42 lakhs of ad spend. From the low ticket product sales, I got 2.1 lakhs. So here it is written 2.3 lakhs. That's the real screenshot, but we assumed a lower cap of 2.1 lakhs because here there are some repeated orders. I, of course, took out the real value from Razorpay. We got 2.1 lakhs out of the 1.42 lakhs I spent, approximately 1.5x. So it wasn't the double the amount of investment that I had, but 1.2x, 1.3x, whatever. I don't know the right multiple. You can do that. Blended ROAS. Eventually, we ended up generating 1,300 plus leads. And out of these 1,300 plus leads, we were generated approximately 700 orders. You can see 692 orders here. We generated approximately 700 orders. These people with an average order value, of 350, 330 rupees, something like that. I don't know. I don't remember exactly. I was able to book 350 calls out of this. These are 350 real people interested in my offer, gone through the pre-call page, had some objections handled, already are my customers apparently because they've paid for it. They know me. They've gone through the videos that I've put out in the low ticket product as well. It's a mini course kind of a thing. And they have trust in me. Now they are wanting to explore the high ticket part of it as well. A person only ends up on these calls when they're ready to invest the right amount as well. Now they were exploring the high ticket opportunity with me. These are 350 people, highly qualified. Again, these people pass through paywalls, pass through multiple questions to finally reach to me. And of all of, there was friction, but the friction was so smooth. Of course, it doesn't make sense, the entire statement, but the friction allowed. So it is that is how I usually put it to all my clients. It's like a wall, it's like a wall. This wall, blocks everyone who is not interested, but it only allows the right person to move through it, and that right person enters through a door. Now this door is what my AI agent was controlling. For whom should this door be opened is what Agent Ivy controls. And it only allows my ICP to finally book a call with me. This was something that we wanted to develop and we eventually did develop. Right? Oh, my bad. I deleted the text. But yeah. And now, if you look at the numbers, we were able to generate 350 calls, 2.1 lakhs back from the low ticket sales, 39 plus leads, 700 qualified leads. These are orders that people, and out of these 350 booked appointments, cost per booked appointment, zero. Literally, it's actually negative if you subtract these two numbers, but I still assume zero. We literally got paid for every single person who was there on the call to be sold for my high ticket offer. Do you see the irony? People are paying me to be sold. That's what the power of a low ticket slash a digital product slash digital snack funnel is. If you're able to scale it in the right way. This is what eventually happened with us as well. And these are the real numbers that we could generate. Here are the, of course, screenshot proofs of it. And what was the result? The result was this. People booking calls with us. Our calendars literally fill 3 to 4 calls uh, every single day, 4 or 5 calls every single day, 6 calls sometimes. I wasn't even able to take some of these calls. So the main question arrives is, why does this entire thing work? Again, as I mentioned when I was explaining the low ticket, the digital product thing, it's a low ticket entry offer. It's an entry offer before someone even explores your high ticket offer, and they're not just flabbergasted by the price that they have to pay to simply become your client, and they might not even see the right value in it. There is an entry offer for them to explore the kind of service that you have. It leaves an impression that it is really high value. It provides real value. You don't have to provide random ass shit on that bundle. You have to provide real value. But you also know, in 300-400 rupees, even if you price it to 2000 3000 rupees, even if you make a mini course and then try to upsell these people from that mini course, sell it for 5000 rupees, even at that, you won't be able to implement your high ticket service. So this is only for people having a high ticket service. My high ticket service costed uh, at that time above $1000. Of course, we've gone past that, but still, if you don't have to provide the implementation for the every single thing that that you have in your low ticket product. For that, of course, that's your high ticket offer then, right? You utilizing your expertise and your time to finally take care of, well, let's say, their ads, and then developing some sort of a solution for them, or helping them book more appointments, or coaching them, whatever service you have. But if you can develop some offer for your agency, think about it. If you can develop an offer which is low ticket entry offer, it solves the same problem as the high ticket offer does, basically targeting your ICP. It will, of course, filter trash leads. First of all, freeloaders will go away. They see a paywall, they don't even come into the picture. You increase the price if you're still seeing freeloaders or cheap steaks. It gets you pre-sold buyers. What do you mean by pre-sold buyers? You see the level of qualification that they go through before even coming to the call. Most of the objections handled. And while they also show up because of the reminder systems in place because of the product that we have, Agent IB, it funds back your ad spend because now you can scale it. And DIY is time consuming. That's the law. People don't want to spend their time in doing things themselves. They throw money at problems which require their time. Very simple. Work with these people. Don't work with, I shouldn't say this in this way. Working with poor people, uh, and helping them achieve their goals is a good thing to do. You might want to open an NGO, and you should always do it. But sometimes, if you wanna make money, try helping the rich people, because for them, they are never looking for the cheapest solution. They're looking for the most efficient solution, and they understand the value of their time and your time. Hence, if they understand the value of time, they will eventually book a call with you, because they won't be spending their time, booking or doing the entire thing themselves. They might go through the low ticket product. Your low ticket product might be a course. They might go through the course, but don't. They see you as a figure of authority. They don't want to implement all of the services that you just listed or explained about themselves. So it's Alex Hormozy, right? You provide free value and then charge for implementation. That's what you have to do in this low ticket offer, but you don't provide it for free. You add a little price over it, just so it can again filter the trash leads. It can fund your ad spend at the same time as well, and you can generate all these high quality appointments. Even let's say not for free, but at a way lower cost per acquisition, cost per meeting book. This entire funnel is to further liquidate your ad spend, right? This entire thing is to liquidate your ad spend. Not, I was able to make it to work in a way that I get zero net ad spend that I have to do. But you don't have to make it zero. You can also survive on lower cost per leads and cost per meeting booked as well, right? You all you have to this entire offer will do all of that for you while also liquidating your ad spend, while also targeting your ICP, while also inducing trust. And when this happens, this is why all of this started working and getting us these quality appointments. When these buyer, so basically this is the target. This is how you develop this offer. So the buyer should have the same problem, and the main difference is they when you qualify them to, if they're eligible for your high ticket offer out of all these orders that you get, they are since your ICP, but you have to make sure that they're with the budget as well. They should have the budget to invest. An AI agent, of course, does that part for us. The IV that we have, it does that, considering that scenario as well. Making sure that it asks for the budget and asks for the urgency of the prompt, so that you can further understand how immediate of a requirement that is, so that you can uh, close them easily for your service. And then it is a must for you to have a pre-call page. What's a pre-call page? I told you earlier, it's a web page containing a lot of authority and having some videos explaining high level details of your offer, as many testimonials and case studies as you can. Case studies will help you a lot. At the same time, having a lot of FAQs answered in videos, right? All of these are videos of you literally being in front of camera. If you're camera shy, I don't know what to do, but simply be in front of the camera. Ensure that the person is purchasing not from a business, but purchasing from another person. Humans purchase from humans, right? So make sure you have that trust built. That pre-call page will help that, and make sure all these people who are coming onto the call with you go through this page. If they have gone through this page, the chances of them showing up on the final call will increase. Our AI agent again handle that part of sending the details of the pre-call page over to them multiple times, so that they can we make sure that they go through it before the call, and they did. And this eventually will generate you highly qualified appointments at zero ad costs, right? Net zero ad costs, lower ad costs. And of course, the product sales will fund the entire lead generation engine that you have built. And that is exactly how I was able to generate 350 high quality high ticket appointments using the AI agent and meta ads, paid for it. And the net ad spend that I did was zero. And if you want something like this to be, replicated, you just want to have a look over what kind of a low ticket entry offer can I have for my thing. You don't have to price it according to this video. You don't have to price it 500, 600 rupees. Just go on to Meta Ads Library and find out whatever's working for your competitors. And if there is a competitor running a low ticket product, you will you just have to take inspo from there and eventually run your own ads. And if you want me to personally audit your entire client acquisition pipeline, would love to do that. You will find a link below in the description where you can click and find my calendar, and of course, book a slot according to your convenience. And I can sit and identify whatever was wrong with the current client acquisition pipeline you have. If you're running ads, you're struggling with low quality leads, low show ups, not booking appointments, and somehow any other problem in fulfillment as well, which you think can be optimized, and just you want me to have a look over your business operations to understand whatever can be fixed by AI agents that we can develop custom for your business. We've been developing AI infra since the last 2 years. We would love to help you do that for your business as well. Ciao.